New at 11, Florida is one of the few places in the country where Alai is hanging on. You can still watch and bet on the sport at a few casinos.
The heyday of Alai was decades ago, but there are signs of a resurgence now. CBS 4's Mike Cunio shows us what it's going to take for Alai to hit a new high.
Alai, some call it the fastest sport on earth, with woven cestas swinging through the air, pelotas reaching speeds of up to 170 miles per hour, and players jumping off walls. The Alai Fronton was the place to be and the place to be seen in the 70s and 80s. It was even featured on the popular show Miami Vice.
Back in the day, people smoked inside, and it was a cloud of smoke and the cracking sound of the ball and the roar of the people. It was great. So that would be in 1986.
Joey Kornblit is a Alai legend, just one of 2 players ever to have their jersey number retired.
There's Joey right there.
Oh, wow, look at that. Look at that. How neat. Brings back a lot of great memories, man.
In its heyday, he played in front of crowds of 10,000 people, where the intensity spilled over into the stands and even the locker room.
There's only one winner.
Yeah.
And there's 7 losers.
All in the same locker room.
All in the same locker room, and helmets are flying.
People were yelling, screaming at you, underserve, overserve, drop it, and you couldn't even really hear your partner.
That fierceness hasn't died down inside the Fronton, but the crowd is a different story. At the casino at Dania Beach, the viewing section holds just about 500 people, a stark contrast from the height of the sport's popularity.
We used to come all the time. Then it kind of lost its popularity, and I guess I got busy.
There's a lot of competition now for the entertainment dollar.
Benny Bueno, the Alai operations manager for the casino at Dania Beach, grew up in the sport and is trying to keep it from quickly disappearing. There are a number of factors that affected its popularity, from a lengthy player strike in the 80s to a growing number of sports franchises and even more gambling in the casinos themselves.
What really gears the success of Alai is that there's a lot of people betting it. The pools are bigger. It's just like in horse racing. If we have a couple of hundred people betting a couple of $100, the pools are significant, but they're not going to get people that are winning $30,000 at a poker tournament.
Professional players have contracts tied to the success of the casinos, plus incentives for winning.
How's the living for a Alai player?
It's a dream, man.
It's
a dream. I mean, you got a lot of time off. It's not like we make crazy money, but we make decent enough to make a living.
We knew going in they're not going to be great the first day.
Documentaries like Billy Corbin's Magic City Hustle have highlighted new interest for the sport with 6-figure earnings. But as casinos in the area move on from greyhound racing and adopt Alai, they'll face another problem.
No doubt gambling is a major part of Alai, but Tevin here, he's 48. Now, for the sport to keep growing, it's going to need some new blood.
It's going to hit the wall, and then you got to throw it like that.
Pros like Tevin and Arietta moved from Connecticut, where their Frontons closed down for good. With little support for youth Alai and less than a dozen operating Frontons across the country, the pool of players is getting smaller, and bringing international players over is difficult with stricter immigration policies.
It would take a huge investment for several people to say, we're going to take Alai and we're going to make it a mainstream sport. We're going to get sponsorships. We're going to get people to follow it. We're going to have amateur places for kids to come and learn how to play the sport. And it's really a grassroots effort. You have to start at the very beginning.
Mike Cunio, CBS 4 News Tonight.
Another factor potentially fueling Alai's popularity, local talent taking up the sport. Athletes like Tenard Davis, Chad Barnes, and Kenny Kelly, all former Hurricanes, are making the transition to professional Alai, and they're enjoying every heart-stopping moment of it. And you love the heart-stopping moments.
I remember it from back in the day. It was so much fun. I'm glad that it's making a comeback.
Yeah.